Mhm. What's going on, YouTube and y'all squad? This is your boy Yakatees. This is your review for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 12, episode 19. So this episode was alright, probably like just like a B if I had to grade it. But anyway, I'm gonna try to freak this the best way that I can to give y'all the best that I can. I'm gonna see if I can stretch this out to 15 minutes. I think I can. Sometimes I can be long with it. Anyway, it's the next day. Lisa claims that she's in shock, and the only thing that I can possibly think of, if I was to give her anything, is maybe it's the shock of, yes, there are certain people who are very pulled up, put together, and whatnot, and then we tend to forget that people who are put together, they're human. So everybody has a breaking point. I mean, even people that we see as being so strong and stoic, when we finally see them have a break, whether it's them snapping off of them, just having a tearful breakdown, it throws you off. It's just like, I've never seen the side of that person. Not to say, it doesn't exist, but we never see it. So I'll give her that much shock. I ain't giving her much. That's all she getting from me. Kathy is coming out of the room. She refuses to fly back with the ladies. But, of course, Kyle is making a big deal of it, which I don't understand why, because she coming there. So why is it so far fetched to believe that she wouldn't be flying now, unless it was agreed that she would? But if she just got into conflict with some people, or she feels that she's not at her best, and she probably didn't want to film because she was still trying to gather herself, it's not a problem with her flying back. But again, we gonna turn, we're gonna make a mountain out of a molehill. So that's all that's being done. So on the plane, Erica says, she wants to connect with Sutton on a human level, which her saying it like that, I'm just kind of like, they gave me pause. And then she pretty much apologizes to the plane for her behavior. And I think the only reason that she gave that apology is because she's aware of what's going on with Kathy, and that needs to be the focal point. So let me go ahead and do a little bit of semi-damage control so we can put all this energy on Kathy and it don't be on me. So the girls recall the club event. Now here's where I found this to be interesting. Is they do all this in their confessionals. And confessionals are, shot after the fact. So I'm curious as to why they weren't comparing notes on the plane, especially because Kathy wasn't there. Why wasn't the conversation being had then, since you're all right there? Y'all could have got it out right then. I strongly believe it's because certain individuals want to get back, compare notes, and make sure that, based off of their own individualized stories, that when they're told in a group, that they all kind of flow into each other. So Sutton says, Kathy was upset that nobody wanted to do the Congo line with her, and she wanted to go home, and said that if, Sutton did not accompany her, then they aren't friends. Okay, cool. A lot has been going on with Kathy and whatnot. Again, we can't forget the history that has gone on between Kyle, Kathy, and Kim. And a lot of those issues, we know they weren't resolved. And let's be clear, last season, they really was supposed to focus on Kathy and Kyle and never did. So this is all just pretty much boiled over, and here we are. So with all of that and what happened on the trip, yeah, hey, let's do a Congo line. Nobody wants to do it. Same thing like, hey, y'all want to try my tequila? Even though they tried it before, it don't matter. Like, y'all all on the show, y'all know what it's hitting for. And whenever somebody else has a business venture, everybody, for the most part, support. But you can't do that for Kathy. So yes, I can understand her being upset, and she probably just wanted to get up out of there. I get it. Now, her saying to Sutton, if you don't come, we ain't friends. Hey, probably was alcohol. I don't know, but that's what Sutton said. Now, Crystal says that she saw uh, Kathy being upset, but doesn't really know anything else. And she's also said she's known Kathy the longest, other than than most of the other women. So obviously her perception is going to be different. So I would assume that Crystal was probably on the other side of the club or far enough away to where she couldn't hear anything, but she just saw a little bit of the behavior. Okay, cool. Lint Liquor says she went to the girls' room, came back, and saw Kathy raging at the girls, especially Kyle. And this is one of those things where you really got to pay attention to the words that people use to describe events and to describe people. I'm like, oh, she's raging. Oh, that's cute because Liquor, you didn't say that your friend was raging when she told Sutton, if you come from my family, I will hunt you down. Or when they were at, I forget whose thing it was, but I think it was the Dory homeless not toothless thing, and she started screaming at Sutton, and then when she realized she did too much, use her mom as a scapegoat. We not gonna say that was raging out. We not gonna say that Erica was raging out. You know, when she went off on that tirade, okay, Kathy was raging out. Oh, so they didn't got you wrapped up into the Kathy takedown too. Oh, okay, I see. Kyle says Kathy said she was upset and that she wanted Kyle to leave the club right then and there. Kyle refused, and I would assume whatever she already had to say to Kyle, that probably further, sent her over the edge. And I guess this was probably one of those, okay, we're siblings. I'm leaving. You should leave with me. I take it that's probably what that was. Again, we don't know. All of this is hearsay. Because, again, none of them are sitting in the room and just hashing this out, even if Kathy isn't there, nevertheless. Doris says, Rena volunteered to take Kathy home. Got it, okay? That's pretty much all we got from her. Lisa says in the Sprinter, Kathy was saying she'll take down NBC, Bravo, and the show single handedly. She probably did say it. I mean, with everything that's going on, she probably did. And I mean, hell, she's frustrated. Again, and look, let me be clear. With the way that Lisa lies, I I can't take a lot of what she says at face value, but could she have said it? Possibly. Then says, I will ruin you all. Now that part I can believe, especially with how y'all been treating her. Now that part I can believe her saying. And then let me see. She said when they got back to the house, she broke her glasses, began banging on the wall, screaming, she made Kyle. I mean, if we gonna call a thing, yeah. And then also we not gonna sit here and act like if it wasn't for Queen Kim that would none of her sisters be put on, but they ain't none of my business. And then apparently, allegedly, Lisa says that Kathy said, I will destroy Kyle and her family if it's the last thing that I do. Can I believe her saying that? I can. Why can I believe her saying that? Because not only did, you know, Kyle's husband working for Kathy's husband, him leaving from, the business venture they had is one thing, but taking clientele, that's something else, and that's shady practices there. So you sever from the business, but then you take clients with you. Okay, that's foul. Not just that. Then you do American Woman, where you're portraying. Now again, it is your story to tell and whatnot, but again, you are portraying your mother to be a certain way based off of your vantage point, not thinking how this could potentially affect your other siblings, and then we don't have to go down the list of how she did Kim. Oh, damn, we already at 8 minutes. Yeah, y'all can get a nice review then. But how she did Kim. And you know that Kathy loves her some Kim. And she's seen this show and has seen how Kyle has done Kim. So the fact that not only has she messed up her immediate family with her husband, but she has also tried to destroy Kim. So her saying it, I can believe it. Probably something I would have said. And then Lisa says Kyle is more successful than Kathy has ever been. Now I sat here like now, to quote my boy Terrence giving you the real tea, I know you lied. I'm like, the delusions, baby, the delusions. So Sutton and Rena, they're shopping for a gift for Crystal's birthday because that's going to be how we end the episode. Crystal is speaking with her husband. They're talking about party planning. We get Kyle in the scene, saying that she's going to Georgia to film a movie. Y'all know what movie it is, but I don't like her, so I'm not giving that no shine, even though there were previews of it during the show. And she hasn't spoken to Kathy. I don't expect you to. I really don't. Dorit and Erica are at a chocolate shop. They're making chocolate and want a custom gift. The people to make a custom gift for Crystal. They talk about what Garcelle said on the reel, but we didn't really go into like detail about that. But then Dorit brings up her conversation with Kyle and Erica and the perception of what Erica said, and then somewhat being associated with her giving what she just said, peeling back the curtain. What is being said is with what she just said that was caught on tape. You know they are going to air that, so to be in close proximity with her. Having these feelings is not going to fare well for the rest of us. I'm just letting y'all know what she wanted to say, but what she couldn't say. And then Erica says that those who are doing the best is doing the worst. Now, initially, I thought that was a jab at Kyle, which I still do, but I'm starting to think based on how this episode played out, that was a jab for Kathy. And she said she's tired of being the whipping boy. Then we get Garcelle and Cherie. Right quick, I don't want to see Cherie on television no more. Like she has underperformed. She playing for the wrong team. And in addition to that, yo cheap ass, how you gonna sit here and grab the car off the gift that Garcelle is going to take to Crystal, and then you grab a yellow highlighter and sign your name and saying, "Oh, this is from the both of us." You know, see, all right, okay. Garcelle brings up what she said on the reel, and her stance is simple. Like, if it was me, I would just give the earrings. We understand. So we at the party. All the girls are there, minus Kyle, because she's in Georgia. Kathy shows up, and of course, Lisa didn't expect her to show up, and she was quote unquote disturbed in her spirit. And they go into the basement, which is they're calling the parlor. It looks beautiful. I'm not even gonna lie, it looks beautiful. And Crystal says she stayed within budget. Erica and Sutton are being chummy, which is interesting. And Rob, Crystal's I was about to say wife, Crystal's husband, joins, and they were talking about the renovations because that house was built in the early 1900s. And Erica says, like, I know that you had to spend a lot because what was acceptable in the early 1900s isn't acceptable now, so you have to redo the plumbing and make sure that the zoning is correct. So I know it was a lot. And then she even alludes to how it was with their house that she shares with her estranged husband Tom, how they were kind of going through some of the same things. And I totally understand because like I said, when I end up inheriting one if not both of the buildings that my mother owns, they both were built between 1910 and 1920. And I know that I'm going to have to do a complete overhaul because of everything that needs to be done. So that talk I understood. And then she even mentioned, so Rob goes away. She mentions to Sutton how, she passed by that old house, windows open and everything. And she just sat in the car, somewhat reminiscing, realizing that, she ain't the same girl. She can't live in that space anymore and blah, blah, blah. So the girls are being served cookies that have their names on them, which I thought was real cute. I'm like, oh, that's cute. And some of the girls just like, oh, I'm not going to eat it. And some of them was like, I'm eating it. I don't know how. I probably wouldn't have ate it. I probably would have just like sealed it in a vacuum bag and then just kept it in the freezer, but then just ate the cake. Nevertheless, so Lisa begins to leave without saying goodbye to anybody, especially the host, causing a scene, creating a scene. Obviously, Crystal finds her and she says, she has to go because she still isn't, over what happened in Aspen, and she's really putting on a performance. Like she's still on the soaps, trying to make it seem like she's visibly upset. And again, with the way that you have shown your natural on this whole entire show since you've been on, again, all y'all have to do is go back to her first season on. Need I say more? Go back to when it was in Amsterdam. Need I say more? So Erica talks to Garcelle about what was said on the reel, and she just feels she's a little bit hurt because she thought that they were, in a good space when they were in Aspen. So the fact that she shot that segment on the reel before they left and didn't tell her, she would have just liked a heads up. Garcelle says she understands and she apologizes. I wouldn't have apologized, but good for you, Garcelle, being a class act. Crystal tells the girls Lisa left, which I'm like, Now, it's not, I'm okay with that, but then she's like, well, apparently, I guess it was something about, Aspen that has her feeling away. That part she didn't have to leave out. She could have just said, like, she was tired, she had a long day, and she was ready to go. Could have said something like that. Okay, well, you want to sit here, you want to, stir the turd. Okay, whatever. Kathy said in her confessional, just like, she doesn't believe that, Lisa would be mad at her because all she did was just share what was going on. So I'm assuming that, yeah, she might have been a little flip, but she was probably just venting to Lisa because that was the person that was with her on the ride there. And, her emotions probably did get the best of her, but she was like, I don't think I said anything wrong. And if I'm the toad that broke the camel's back, I'm like, that Kathy. Come on now. The toad that broke the camel's back. But she said, if I'm the toad that broke the camel's back, then I'm sorry. Cool. So Diana and Erica go off to the side to call Lisa. Lisa doesn't answer, and I'm assuming it's probably because she ain't got her whole lie straight, and she knew that with them calling, they're still at the party. It's probably being recorded. Erica feels Lisa should share what happened, back at Aspen, both in the Sprinter and at the house with Kathy. Yeah, she should, but I think all of y'all had that opportunity to say it on the plane. Like there was plenty of time to say it before. Again, I feel like it's let's get our story straight and whatnot. Kathy takedown is in effect. She doesn't like how they can condemn her for her behavior, but not everyone else, i.e., Kathy. But here's the difference. If we're going to do this, Kathy had one blowout. Well, all of them saying that, she had words for Kyle. Because I ain't heard nobody say she said anything homophobic, xenophobic, racist, none of that. So whatever. But she had one blow up with everything that was building. Okay, cool. Erica didn't have many blow ups from her first season being not really her first season. I'm not gonna say she didn't really go off on her first season. But after her first season on, she's had blow ups with pretty much damn near every season. So yeah, we not gonna do apples to oranges. And again, I mean, you're being held accountable, especially with everything that's going on in your life currently, and you choosing not to show empathy. So yeah. Lint Liquor says she feels that Lisa is being a chicken by not being there and saying her piece. Now I was like, oh my gosh, is Lint Liquor sitting here speaking up and speaking out? Now what's funny is by the end of the scene, she was gone and Dorit replaced her. So I'm just like, I don't know if that's gonna fare well for you. So the majority of the ladies leave. Dorit joins Erica. Erica talks to her and tells her that Lisa left because of the things that happened, with Kathy, because things got worse in the Sprinter and at home, and feels that, Lisa needs to share that, but that's the reason why. And I'm just trying to figure out, now, some people are saying Kyle isn't involved in the Kathy takedown. I call BS. But I'm going to say this. Kyle, you need to ask yourself, when all this was going down, why was Lisa texting Erica about your sister and not texting you? Kyle, when you saw the text messages appearing on Erica's phone, why didn't you call Lisa and shut that down? But anyway, that's all I got. So I can't wait to see where this takes us. And yeah, I will see you all. What's the next video? Yeah, Friday for the season finale of Bell Collective. All right, you all have a great one. Peace out.